Even your emotion had an echo in so much space. When you out there without care, I was out of tune. But it wasn't because I didn't know. No. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
Hey everybody, let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and throw our 2 cents worth into this issue. As many of you know, for weeks on end, it was week after week, day after day, the internet was abuzz. The internet was awash with this new reality show that Mutale Mwanza has embarked upon. Now, let me be clear. Let's just say this right off the bat. I'm not here to hate on Mutale Mwanza. I'm not here to diss her in any way. I'm not here to disdain her. I'm not here to disparage her in any way. I am here simply to give you my review of the show, as is my custom. And as many of you know, you do the same thing. When you watch something, you review it. Many of us go to the cinema. When I was a kid, we used to call them the movie houses. We used to go to the cinema, and when you like a film, you review it. When you don't like it, you review it. You give your opinion. So because I know that this reality show was on everybody's lips, because it was on the internet, I did watch it. I did, and I watched it keenly just because I wanted to know Mutale Mwanza's line of logic. As many of you know, I came out a few weeks ago and I said, I recently discovered that Mutale is actually a relative of mine, which is not surprising because, there's 6 degrees of separation between all of us. So having said that, I want you to know that I'm not here to disparage him. So getting into the show, let's talk about this. I'm going to throw it up here for a moment. Mutale Mwanza's new show. I have to tell you, let me begin with what I liked about it, okay? And if I'm being totally honest, what I liked about the show was the intro, okay? The intro when the show begins. I loved the intro. There was one scene in particular that I liked. This was where she walks across, she comes out of a car, and she sort of sachets. You know the word sachet? She sachets, it almost looked like she was floating, hovering above the ground as she walked. She had those silky style slacks and she had the shades on and she was walking past the car. I thought that was a really nice opening scene. The thing that I didn't like about it was that there's a scene where she goes shopping with her son, Hancho, and her nephew, whom she calls her son. And she said something like, well, when I go shopping, they close the store for me. Now, everybody knows good and hell well that doesn't happen. Nobody ever does that, at least not in Zambia. I can't think of one celebrity in Zambia that walks into a shop or a store and the store closes down for you, me, or anybody else. So I thought that was a bit unrealistic. The other thing that I was a little disappointed about, that given the fact that there was a lot of advertising, there was a point in the show, during the show, where there was a bit of an audio mix-up. Did you guys pick that up? Tell me in the comments below. Just very quickly, just throw that on there. If, for those of you that watched the show, there was a point during the show where there was a bit of an audio mix-up. And that disappointed me only because they'd spent so much time advertising the show. One would think that such glitches wouldn't happen. But again, this is television; anything can happen. It's possible. But I was a little disappointed that they didn't check all the check all the boxes and cross all the T's and dot all the I's. Tell me in the comments very quickly if you picked that up. If you did, you see that? Somebody says very true. I saw that, and I was disappointed only because I know Mutale had put her effort, her time, so much energy, so much steam behind the show, only to discover that during the show there was an audio mix-up. I didn't like that. The other thing that I liked, and I must say, is I liked Mutale Mwanza's friend. The what was the name? Tell me in the comments below. Tell me in the comments if you know. I forget her name now. Do you know the girl that Mutale was sitting? Mutale, not to Mutale. Facebook. Facebook, kutuau na ukapa Facebook. Areti Mutale. It's not Mutale, it's Mutale. The young lady that was sitting next to Mutale, she had on the DG sunglasses. Tell me her name not Zevin. No, it wasn't Zevin. It was another lady. I forget her name. What was her name? Throw the name up there, and I promise I'll throw you up here. I will. Is that no? That wasn't her name. I forget her name, but I liked her because I felt that she sort of was that her name, Victoria? It could be Victoria. I felt that she came across as Mutale Mwanza's voice of reason. She seemed to have a good head on her shoulders, and her outlook seemed to be very healthy. And I think she wants to see her friend win and do the right thing. That's the sense I got from her Mutale's interaction with that lady. The other thing that I found a little disingenuous, and I know Mutale means well. I mean, Mutale meant well when she talked about the little boy, and that she referred to him as her son. The issue I had was I think what was more accurate, Mutale Mwanza should have said, "I sponsor the child." I don't think it's right to say he's my son, he's my adopted son, when you haven't adopted the child. Because, children, I think that when you make a commitment to adopt, okay? But if you're not going to adopt, say what it is. Say, I am a sponsorer. I sponsor the child. But for anyone, for you, me, anybody else to go on television and say, this is my son, and I've adopted the child, when you have in fact not adopted the child, that's a bit of misinformation there. So I think that let's say what it is. If it's sponsoring a child, and all of us know sponsoring is very different from adopting. Sponsoring means every so often you send some money, 7 days out of the week, you choose 3 days to go see the child. When you have the time, you have a chance to do that. That's sponsoring. Adopting means you take full responsibility of the child. Adopting means you sign the papers, you say to the state, to the country, this now is my responsibility. There are no off days. There are no days where I feel like going to see the child and then next week I don't feel like it. No, it's a full-time commitment. So my point is, and this is a lesson to all of you and all of us, is that when we say things, let's say what we mean, and let's be clear about what we're saying so that we don't send the wrong message. I've got 4 more minutes because I know news time is coming and I don't want you to miss that. The other thing on the show, there was something else that I found funny. This was funny. It's not a criticism. It's just something I noticed. I picked up. I thought it was funny. Was when it's actually 2 things. Mutale Mwanza was sitting there getting her hair done, her nails done, and all of a sudden somebody walked in with a beautiful bouquet of flowers. I mean, these beautiful red roses. And along with that was a big stash of cash. I mean, and I know that, to each his own. There are men that do that, and that's fine. But what I found interesting was Mutale Mwanza's stylist. Did you guys pick that up? The lady with the beautiful skin, the beautiful dark skin, gorgeous lady. She walks in, and what I found interesting was her use of the word gorge. Did you guys pick that up? I saw that, boy. She says, "Oh, this is gorge." I was like, where one? Zambia. Who says gorge? Go take gorge. Do I sound like a hater? Is that what are you getting that? Because if you're getting hater, you're wrong. This is a critique, guys. This is a critique. I picked that up. I sort of picked that up. I noted that. She says, "Oh, this is gorge." I was like, you're kwena natu cha Muzambia. Today tifya kufwala ti gorge. When you say gorge to me, I think of the Kafue Gorge. Okay, so anyway, to each his own. And then lastly, I must point this out, was that I love the thing I did love though was Mutale Mwanza's family. Her mother, I think her aunts. Although I did notice they came dressed for the event. Who wouldn't? Because this is national television. I mean, this is TV. You have to look your best, and I applaud them for that. They looked beautiful. They did. They looked absolutely gorge. Are you feeling that? I'm feeling that. Didn't I tell you about that word gorge? Didn't I say that it would, at some point during the broadcast, it was going to pop out? Didn't I tell you that? Her family looked gorge. They did. And all in all, let me just say that I think it was interesting to watch. It was. And I wish her the best and all the success in the world. Okay, lastly, let me talk about Ivanka Bianca. Ivanka has been venting. And sadly, Ivanka feels snubbed by DSTV or MultiChoice. I think according to her television slot has been taken over by, I think she mentioned Mutale or something like that. But here's my word of advice to Ivanka. Honey, I know it's difficult. Lady, I know it's hard. I know you feel rejected and you feel rejected publicly. But let me tell you, DSTV is not the be all and end all. Life does not revolve around DSTV. Yes, I know it was a source of income, but it's not the only source of income. Yes, I know it feels difficult because you may have put all of your eggs in one basket, and oftentimes that tends to happen when you put all of your faith in one single solitary thing, and when that thing doesn't work, you feel that your whole world is falling apart. Don't feel that way. I know you feel that way, but don't feel that way because it's not the end of the world. You need to get some support around you. You need to get some people that will tell you it's okay. It's going to be fine. The sun's going to come up tomorrow. You need that support system. Otherwise, if you keep using those words, especially on social media, when you begin to use words like I'm going to kill myself, even though those words come from a very real, deep, painful place, I get it. But there's more to life than DSTV. There really is. You got to know that. You have to know that. Okay? All righty. All right. That's all I wanted to say. It's 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. News time. God bless. Thanks for watching. Bye.